Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about the Web3 marketing on our show Behind the Crypto podcast, and I am your host Vlad Svitanko. Today I'm so excited to be joined by Aleksandra Zapiec. She is the Web3 marketer and the person who has a lot of experience on their backstory. Aleksandra, hello and welcome. How are you doing today?
Hi, thanks for having me here today. Yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you very much.
Like just before we start our questionnaire, could you please share with us a couple thoughts about your backstory and tell us a little bit more about how did you get to the Web3 space and become a crypto marketer?
Yeah, sure. Just stop me if I will be speaking too much because I can do that. It's a part of my life. So yeah, just stop if it's too much. Yeah. So actually, I have a very strong marketing background, still based on Web2. It's like 10 years plus in marketing in general. I was starting with SEO, so organic search. Then I was working in-house and as a consultant for many big world-known companies. Recently, I've been working also for the banking industry. And meanwhile, for social trading, which is innovative way of, let's say, targeting investments. But on the other hand, I've been in the crypto space for like around 5 years, I would say. So 2017, I was already having like a first conscious exposure to what's happening, what's crypto, or actually Bitcoin that days. Then I started as well learning about it more and consulting people or like helping them. And then the Web3 era came. So finally, at the beginning of this year or end of the previous year, I decided that I'm quitting completely the corporate world and I don't want to be a part of this Web2 where we are like reusing or exploring too much what's like the users and the data. And I want to really offer my skills and my knowledge to the Web3, Web5, possibly space, and also utilize everything I know about crypto. And I started my own NFT projects also to educate the space, to test like VR, AR, so how to connect NFTs as a database. So I'm not talking about JPEGs only here with drawings. So how to connect them in the with the real life through the technology. And then I've met a couple of amazing people from related to the blockchain projects, and proudly working still with 2 of them.
Fascinating stuff. Okay, what I know about you that you are a CMO on the 2 companies, and both of them you have the role of the CMO on these companies. First one Ari10, and the second one is Cake DAO. Could you please?
Yeah, the Cake, yes.
Cake, yeah. Could you please tell us more about your work on these companies and a little bit about challenges you facing right now in the work progress?
Yeah, actually having 2 roles as a head of the marketing in such a new still environment is already a challenge itself. And yeah, these 2 projects are totally different, but they are both growing very dynamically. And they are, which is above all very important, building very valuable solutions for the whole crypto and blockchain space. Mm-hmm. So either they are focused on education and support for the community, which is also light on the trust and quality, or on the other hand, on the technology, advanced technology that will in the long term lead to crypto adoption, usage, but also focus on privacy and security. So the Cake is, shortly speaking, a gated chat service that's providing consumers and business with constant advice from the pool of trust experts. And its vision is connecting those who have the knowledge with those who need it. There are already more than 80 advisors on the Cake from all over the world. So yeah, different languages, different time zones. But the beauty here is that the Cake is focused, or actually its foundation is on the distributed trust, users engagement, and also rewarding. So like shortly speaking, the best advisors or the best scored advisors are incentivized by the native token of the Cake. So the users of the platform, they are happy with what they are receiving, and then the advisors are also here, granted rewards for the good job. Ari10, on the other hand, is providing a very complex portfolio. So these are like crypto, tech, blockchain solutions as a response to the needs of the B2B sector. And each of the products or elements from the Ari10 portfolio can work separately, serving B2B and consumers as well. But they, as a whole infrastructure, they are actually empowering businesses in a long term and an amazing way. So these are like crypto widgets, gateways, or even stationary exchanges where people can, buy Bitcoin for cash. Ari has also its own token. So yeah, I'm very excited to be working for these two projects because they are focused on the future.
Thanks for sharing this information. Yeah, so what I'm hearing now that Ari10 is kind of ecosystem of crypto projects, B2C and B2B sector on the Web3 market. Am I right? Yes?
Yes, so they are actually providing solutions for B2B, like of course a B2C, so like a private and individuals, they can also use, like Ari10, for example, has its own exchange. So consumers can also have an account there or use one of the Ari10's applications. But mostly the solutions or the portfolio of this project is focused on B2B. So as an example, a crypto widget you can use and very easy customize and install it on your website. You can instead of going to text, you can list your own token or coin. So you are providing it to your own community. So you can monetize traffic on his website. You can connect it with the exchange of Ari. You can very quickly, if you have more cash, because we are focused here on volumes, go to the stationary exchange. Mm-hmm. And again, either through the terminal or an app, just buy Bitcoin paying cash. So we are talking about being anonymous, private, but all these systems are very secure. So yeah, that's why I said they can work separately, or as a whole, they can really serve the business sector well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what I know about your work on the Ari10, they have one leading product that is a crypto exchange, and actually you have number one in the Poland market and has more than 100,000 clients. Am I right about that?
Yes. So Ari10 started 5 years ago in Poland with the exchange. Other features and products enter the portfolio later. Yeah, Poland is really here, like taken completely. We have a big community here, but we are also expanding to different markets. So like, for example, Cyprus, which is one of the new offices. But yeah, in Poland, we are number one if it comes to the exchange and wallet. But we have also more than 130 partners having the stationary exchanges. So yeah, this is a big achievement.
We also have a lot of clients in Cryptorsy from the Poland, and I could say that Poland have really fascinating startups in the Web3 space, and guys are just good enough at creating this crypto project as well, and just love the idea. So yeah, amazing about that. And could you please explain us how do you manage your time to work separately in two companies as a CMO? That is the pretty important role in every startup, like chief marketing officer. And how do you manage your time?
Yeah, Ari10 is not a startup anymore. So as I said, they started like in 2017, I would say, though many aspects of this project are still working like a startup. With the Cake, the story is a little bit different because, yeah, they are still in the early stage. They are like 2 years old. It is very challenging, but I think this is also kind of like a magic being a marketer in general, and especially Web3 marketer. So you need to be flexible and be able to manage your time well. So I'm working long and yeah, different schedules like day and evenings. But I'm also trying to follow up, and I'm a user and consumer of the Web3 space myself, as well as an investor if it comes to crypto. So I understand it better. Plus, I understand the difference between Web2 and Web3. And I'm like, not to say geek, but tech savvy. So yeah, that's why I also started this NFT on my own, just to see how it works. I built a website in Web3. So yeah, all this knowledge plus time management is helping me, or yeah, that's the key of success, I would say, how to manage more work and also people, like human capital. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that is for sure. So if you can open the gate just a little bit for us, Alexandra, to give us some information about where is your main flow of customers related to the RE10. So do you use the digital, or you have worked on the social media or community, or both these marketing sites, just for everybody who want to set up the crypto exchange or the product like yours, like, and think like a Web3 marketer, where is the main flow of customers for them, and what is the way they have to come through?
Yeah, the ways, I mean, it's not very easy to answer this question because it's a very complex process, but simply speaking, and I will remind it, yeah, Ari is focused on B2B, but is also serving very often the B2C sector as well. So, and with the whole portfolio, each process and each marketing strategy, as well as channels will look differently. So, building a community, you are using, or we are using a lot of social platforms, and social media. Some of these are also utilized for the B2B as well. So this is yeah, this division is kept very yeah, it's kept, and it's very important to keep in mind. Yeah, of course, paid ads are very important of our marketing, or important part of our marketing strategy. And here we are talking about different let's say mechanisms, from banners, remarketing, affiliate,
Yeah.
yeah, so listings as well, being like press coverage, mentions. So yeah, it's a long process, but also the business network here is an important part, especially if you talk about B2B, and the target group that Ari has. So yeah, I would say it's a mix of everything, and it's a very complex, I would say, planning, or requires complex planning of the strategy, yeah, and its activation.
I really love what you said about the remarketing, because I think that is the latest strategy to get clients cheaper and really ensure the highest level of conversion rate during all your funnel, because we are just now fighting for the one more touch with our clients, and that's it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think also the key to success in every marketing strategy, including Web3, or blockchain and crypto, is actually synergy. So if you build the whole strategy as a whole ecosystem, and you plan it in a way that you are reaching that people in the early stage, educating them, building that trust and engagement with them, and then later you can monetize it through, yeah, for example, remarketing, where you are also saving banners, yeah, saving money and time as well. Yeah, this is actually, yeah, a very, it can work very successful.
That's for sure. Listen, Alexandra, if you were to recreate the project now by yourself, which top 3 points in marketing areas you'd like to have on the point as a main focus at?
Well, it would of course depend on the project, but I would maybe focus on three, or even advise others, three very important steps, which are often omitted or pushed for later, because either we have time pressure creating a project, or we don't have resources, or we have so much focus on our idea that we just follow the roadmap, you know, and we want to proceed faster. So I would say the first very important point is good market research, including target audience, their problems and needs. So how you can address these. So focus less on yourself, but what's needed there. And also on indirect competitors. And I think it's pretty crucial these days, because many projects that are launched, or are going to be launched, are so unique and so new that people are forgetting, or they think that there is not direct competitor, so they have nobody to double check and see how others are doing it. So don't forget indirect competitors as well. So good market research, and think about people who you want to target and how you can serve them. Secondly, I would say building a strong business network. As always, it's very important. So people that you will have behind you and next to you, it's your army for later on. Also already in the early stage, thinking about quality in-house resources, and also partners that can help you in the more when you're doing more scale activities, so already having these kind of things prepared. And the last aspect I would say, which is also very often pushed for too late, is having prepared at least as a plan strong or even bulletproof, I would say, B2B content formats. It doesn't matter what the project is, sooner than later, collecting funds, trying to get investors, you will need this kind of content. And also while you scale and grow, you need to have this B2B, typical B2B content, which is completely having different tone and different aspects and different formats as well than the normal marketing. So yeah, these three.
So really love what you said and mentioned a bit earlier, and I want to add some words about generating ideas in the Web3 space, because there is a lot of, and you have to be very flexible with your ideas, because every day the space has changed forever. Maybe every day the crypto like going down or going up or something like that, and you have to be like the focus on your roadmap, on your marketing strategy, to not go in somewhere, because
definitely. So being consequent with what you want to achieve, it's the most important factor that can decide if you will fail and disappear or if you will succeed. But before you launch, even the three points I mentioned, they are like even preparing yourself before, because later when you already follow the roadmap and you are consequent, there is no time for anything else. So before you are starting a project, have this network especially.
Okay.
Well done. But I fully agree. Roadmap, and this is also something that can help you to build this trust within the community. And this is your army as well. And this is the core of the Web3 actually. It's built, for people, but with people as well.
With people, there's
exactly.
Like, do not compare, but build the synergy between you, and that.
Definitely. And this requires, if it comes to marketing strategy, completely different mechanisms and actions. So in Web2, people were like, we were as marketers more focused on just consuming the users' data. Unfortunately, very often they were not even aware of that, and then trying to monetize it. And in Web3, because the whole space, or Web5, like WebX, whatever, right? So there are different opinions now. In here, we need to actually build the foundation and make the community and your future customers a part of the project. So the marketing strategy is there, focus on this aspect very, very strongly, even very often more than monetizing later. Because if you do it correctly, if you understand this difference, the monetization or revenue is coming almost itself later.
Thanks. Fascinating. 100%. So listen, we are still early builders in the Web3 space, and as we have the similar roles like marketers on this Web3 space, I want to notice that there is this so rare ones that could be named themselves like good marketers in the Web3 space. And could you please help us understand how does the Web3 marketer looks like? Could you describe maybe some points they have?
Looking recently at myself, I would say tired. To be more serious, I think as every marketer, such a person needs to be able to multitask. But especially in Web3, it's very good if you are a part of this space yourself. So you are also a consumer, so that you can feel and understand what mechanisms they are that you are facing, and also what you do care about as a user. Secondly, I would say the Web3 marketer is also very good if this person also knows and has an experience with Web2. I mean, still many, blockchain, crypto, Web3 projects, they are still utilizing Web2. And it's probably going to be like this for a while. So you cannot cut it out completely. So it's good if this person not only knows the technology behind Web3 and is able to use it, but also how the Web3 as a community works. But also it's somebody who was and has an experience in the Web2 marketing and is able to build the synergy, the bridge between them two. It should be also somebody who is not afraid of failing and not afraid of challenges. I mean, just look at the space. As you said, it's changing so dynamically. It's still so fresh, you know. So you cannot, as a marketer, just stand still or give up. So from every failure, if it's your private failure or a project failure, just learn and grow. This is very, very important. And probably the last and the most important part here or point is that you need to be really exposed on more than the marketing itself. So it's all connected ecosystem. So the blockchain as a base, as a foundation, the technology, the crypto that is built on that, and many different ways. Web3, Web5. So you need to be really following everything, how it develops. But on the other hand, it's very difficult because you need to also, as a good marketer, be able to focus only on the valuable and trusted information, because it's very easy to get lost. We are overwhelmed with so these three things I think are the key to success.
Definitely the loudest ones. So there are several points of view and ways of thinking on our Web3 space. Like the web and the Web2 is pretty same. There is no differences about that. And the other type of thinking, there is a Web2, like a kid of the Web3, you know. And could you explain us some differences, some main and firm differences between Web2 and Web3, and how to figure out where is the differences about that?
Yeah, I think we both mentioned it actually already, and there are many differences, and I hope it will still go and grow, building a huge gap. But I think the biggest difference is about the users and their needs. So as we both said, Web3 is built through people, for people, and with people.
Wow.
So your community, or the community that you are building your project around, this community is either your fans, your supporters, or a future customers to be. And if you understand this as a difference, and you can activate different elements in your strategy, how to build the trust with these people, how to also educate them, how to grow together, then you can success. But I think users and needs. So it's a completely different approach here. But also it's about privacy and security. You know, Web3 is very dynamic and it's very advanced already now, though it's early. We need to keep in mind the security, data, privacy. This is also a huge difference. And I think this is one of the reasons why the Web3 or Web5 now, even in the discussion, have been created. Yeah.
Very intelligent explanation. Yeah, thank you so much about that. So what I'm hearing now, that we are during the economy of sharings, and we have to try to understand like how to build together this place.
Yeah,
everybody loves to live in.
Definitely. Yes, exactly. You grow together. And this is something that you should, from the very early stage, in every aspect. If it's branding, if it's marketing, if it's project management, you need to understand it and follow. Yeah, do it together for the people that are part of you. That's why there are also many different mechanisms how to build these stronger communities that can help you in situations like now, the bear market, right? If you build a community well, if you make them part of the project, if you let them voting, as an example of DAOs. There are many things. I will maybe stop because I don't know how much time we have.
Yeah, it seems I can forecast your answer on my next question, but I have to answer that. Is the marketing domain is part of the success for every crypto project as well?
Yes, but not to repeat myself, the marketing of the blockchain, Web3, crypto projects, whatever it is, it's working differently than the one in the past. So yeah, it is very important, and it's one of the success, like one of the cores how to succeed, but it works different than the one in the past. Yeah.
So you, like a lead manager in both companies, probably have faced with the problem to work with some kind of contractor and use an outsource agency, or to build an in-house team and have this huge cost, and there is so many just for thinking about that. And maybe you can share some ideas, some tips, strategies, and hacks for everybody who runs the crypto project right now, and they are thinking about, I have to look for something to outsource them, or I have to understand how to manage my in-house team and have to pay them as well, and like help us to figure out what's the best.
Yeah, it really depends on the project and also the current market situation, what's happening there. It's yeah, impacting your decisions and your plans a lot. But I would say, and what's helping me a lot here, it's an approach similar to agile methodology or sprint planning, when you have like bigger plan and focus, but you are acting on smaller pieces. And I would say I'm a big fan in Web3, blockchain, crypto, a big fan of in-house, very strong in-house team as a base, as a core. But on the other hand, a few trusted partners to scale. So you cannot handle everything in-house. So when you want to do a very strong campaign, for example, or a big scale campaign, you need to have a trusted partner for that, somebody who has resources and experiences. So yeah, it's again coming to what I told you about this, you know, what's important when you are starting a project from zero, this network effect. So yeah, as a tip, I would say if you are struggling, try to plan high level but focus on the smaller pieces so you can adapt and change it faster. Have a very strong resources in-house as your core, but on the other hand, a few trusted, which is important, marketing, maybe agencies, maybe media houses to work with. And yeah, I mean, example just of your project, right? Your company, you are also acting very fast and supporting many other projects successfully. So having somebody like you in place, it can be very, very helpful. Yeah, more than in-house.
Okay, so what do you think about the back office? Let me just explain the idea. We are in Cryptorsy, like trying to integrate in the product team, trying to build some synergy with the in-house team, to not be competitor, to be like a kind of co-player in the same team, the same soccer team, and ensure the highest results in the space with this in-house team. And as I mentioned, there is a pretty good synergy that we are trying to build with every our project, because there is two problems. We have a really good marketing agency in the Web3 space to outsource them something just. And the second thing is about if we find it out, they are just want to be outsourcers and deliver you processes for some kind of results. But if we need to get some firm results, we have to integrate and try to understand what is the project about, what is the product about, what is the team about.
But this is again something that is, let's say, lying on the foundation of Web3, when we said, okay, when you build a crypto project, you need to make your future customers or your community a part of the project. So what you are doing is also based on a similar priority, right? So you don't want to be, you are not working as an agency, done, do, deliver, and then get my profits, but you want to be an, let's say, like one limb or one core, yeah, exactly, as a part of it. Yeah, and this is what I mentioned as it's important to have a trusted resource to work with. So somebody that is not this typical agency kind of approach, but somebody you will trust and somebody who is working with you together. Yeah, this is very important.
Thank you about that. One of the toughest questions about how to build a strong community who will be able to invest in your product as well and help you of promoting your product as well. And we have the several clients on the line who ask about, oh guys, we have one or 10K bucks and we want to get the 100K active members in our Discord and Telegram, which is not really, that is impossible to ensure these ones. And the question is about how to build a strong community, which actually would be the army of fans, without the bots, without the giveaways, without the something dirty in the space, and ensure the fresh, alive, and engaged audience in your community.
Yeah, you already said something that I wanted to give you as an answer. Do it from your heart and knowledge, having in mind this community for the community, with a community. So forget about things like bots and getting automation. Like, of course, automation can help in some sense, but forget about it because you will not build trust. If you don't build trust and engagement with your community, you are not going to success in the long term. Just look what's happening with many projects. And how to build a community. Well, it really depends. Even when you mentioned Telegram or Discord, yeah, not every possible a member of your community is going to use both. We need to keep in mind like different age, different. We are not only talking here about young people, or in my specific case, like Ari10 is a business people. They are not necessarily like using all the social platforms that you can expect for an average young person as a community member only. But I think, yeah, just to the point, yeah, if you understand the difference and really understand and follow the difference between Web 2 and Web 3. So with this core as for the people, with people together, and you make your community a part of your own project. You let them deciding. That's why there are voting mechanisms in Web3. This is a completely new thing. It was never happening before. If you also reward them, yeah, what the Cake is doing for the advisors, or what many projects, including Ari10, are doing. So airdrops, giveaways, so they can be also a part of an investor to check your project. So this is a couple of mechanisms that you can build this community very strong. As it comes to tools, yeah, it's a very, very broad topic to discuss because it depends if it's a B2B, B2C, what's the average group. That's why this personas and thinking about your audience early is important. So yeah.
Let's discuss it for the next question. I want to inquire in the details. Like right now, we are living during the bearish market. That is not easiest time for everybody who are in the Web3 space. And the marketing should be really fascinating if you want to be the one, if you want to be the 1% who had an opportunity to see the next bull run, even not to die during this bearish market. And maybe you can recommend some tips, hacks, strategies to underline the must-have elements in the every Web3 marketing right now. Everybody has to implement in their companies as well.
Yeah, the current markets are not helping anyone, right? For B2B, the situation is completely different because yeah, it's not only bear markets and the crypto situation, but also stock exchange, inflation. But I don't want to talk about economics or politics. So it's easier to say here and talk here more about B2C. So yeah, again, coming back to the base, the foundation, the difference Web 2, Web 3. So you are building your marketing strategy based on the community, for the community, with the community. So social channels can be very helpful here because you can grow, build, engage, support. That's why you have platforms and channels. So yeah, as Discord and Telegram to support and engage, or to promote, talk, and inform, educate as well on, for example, Twitter. And this is a huge piece of the crypto or people interested in crypto and Web3. But what can help you in the bear market, where you can actually, many people, they don't think about it, but actually you can grow and build more. It's a very good opportunity for marketers to build strong communities. I'm not saying to use those projects that are failing, but they use what they are failing because of what they are failing. So this lack of engagement, lack of the strong foundation, that the people were not trusting, or they were not transparent enough, and that's why people lost the trust. So what I wanted to say, yeah, so how to help yourself surviving, you can, for example, work with different elements of this networking effect, right? You can do some affiliate, you can do some recommend as a friend program so that others can try and join, but don't push for anything. So yeah, but the clue is understand and follow this difference, Web 2, Web 3, even in the bear market or not. Yeah.
What my experience told me that about we have the similar touches with the projects right now during the bearish market in the Cryptorsy scales. And what working and pretty fascinating. First one is about audience exchange. You could require and you could recommend somebody to audience exchange and provide some ask me any question in the your competitive community as well.
Definitely,
Share the
yes.
audience and that's it.
Yeah, definitely. So we are going from the communities. I mean, when I talk about a community, it's not only about the community from your own project. We are talking that's why I also said you need to have a vision what's happening in the whole space as a connected ecosystem. So your community and others project community might have something in common, some interests to learn, to understand, to help themselves. So to become some kind of shared communities. So definitely, yeah, the way Twitter, for example, developed, or many social platforms. You mentioned Twitter Spaces, right? No, or maybe you didn't. Maybe I had it in mind. But yeah, this is a completely new thing that appeared like what, a couple of years ago only. So yeah, sharing communities and helping them to learn and grow together. That will also help you grow. Yeah, it's very important.
Okay, also got it. Thanks. Also related to the marketing side, how do you struggle with the continue increasing the price of the customer acquisition cost? How do you actually work with that in your companies? And from day to day, it's more tougher challenge to get somebody's attention to your marketing funnel and like help them become your member in the community, a follower in the social medias, and even the user in your platform.
Yeah, definitely, especially if we have such a long crypto winter, right? Yeah, it is a challenge, but what can help you is trying to scale. So this is a good example of Ari10. So they are expanding to different markets, right? You mentioned that they are so successful in Poland. True. They just entered another market as Cyprus. On the roadmap, there are many other locations that we are already planning to enter pretty soon, but I cannot tell you more about it. So scaling and going further based on the trust and strong foundation is important. On the other hand, to save yourself on costs, we also both mentioned it, remarketing, right? It's a very good technique. Affiliate. So again, we are coming back to this networking effect. Yeah, having smartly distributed resources as well, because money is also like your human capital costs you money. Time waste costs you money. So yeah, remarketing, I would say as a tip, works very well. Affiliate programs, networking as well. This networking effect can help you as well. Saving, and on the other hand, have it in mind that you need to scale and go broader. So you build very strong presence and very strong trust of your project in one place, and then scale and go further. Yeah, this is also how we work, or how I work. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fascinating, clearly, and love this idea. I have one more tough question for you. Are you ready to get that?
Yes.
Imagine that you have $1 million to spend that on the marketing related to the Ari10 deals. How will you plan to spend this cost to ensure the highest level of ROMI, return of marketing investments? How I want to understand your thinking about how will you implement this strategy and trying to provide some activities to ensure this highest level of the result getting from this aspect.
Yeah, I don't know how much time do we have left, but this is a complex question, and I could probably speak about it like at least half an hour. But coming back here, we should come back to the synergy. So the marketing plan, especially having a big budget, and it can be not such a big budget if you want to really scale and do it in an aggressive or strong way. So yeah, a synergy. So building visibility and exposure. You have different mechanisms here, right? Like banners, for example, even paid campaigns. Banners can be used for building visibility, but later you can reuse them for building revenues and collecting leads. But also having a strong presence in, unfortunately, not very often not very cheap media as yeah. So focus on press coverage, that you inform what your company is about, what you are trying to do. So yeah, this visibility is a first layer. So it doesn't really change, or it's not so different with the Web2 strategy. So building the visibility, scaling it, and then trying to redo it for the sale. So
results.
yes, getting results, definitely, and spending your money smart, because as I said, even the amount that you mentioned can be not so much if you just burn it literally, right? But yeah, synergy here, because in marketing you have so many different channels, you have so many different even features and options within each of the channel that you need to plan it as a laboratory, I would say.
Definitely love this way of thinking. So, Aleksandra, listen, you as one of the most powerful marketer of the Web3, that is in my opinion, for sure. And you got a lot of information about how the market goes on right now and where we can be in the next 3 or 5 years. I don't know. I don't want to get like the forecast. I want to just get your picture of future 3-5 years crypto space, where we get it.
Well, I think many things are going to happen even faster than in the 3-5 years. We are living in a digital age, so we are growing exponentially. If you think about it, it's like the internet in the 90s, or if you think about mobile phones and then the first smartphones, and then what we have now, with the difference, whatever is growing and changing, yeah, it's doing it in a double speed. As for the crypto itself, I don't want to predict too much, because this space is also very early. Also the communities are, or consumers of these spaces are not mature. That's why this education is important. But from the technology point of view, I think, we will pretty soon, it might be 3, 6 months, 12 months already, we will see an improvement and the technology entering and being next to us in everyday life. So this is something that is going to happen pretty soon. It will consequently affect crypto, for example, if it comes to adoption, usage, flexibility, access to it. So yeah, I would say technology, VR and AR, it's something that's going to be in everyday home pretty soon as well. Entering a different business areas, from education to like it's a huge topic, but I think even 12 months are already something that we will see a difference.
Are you scared the idea that we will soon like live in the metaverses?
No, I'm a big fan of the metaverse. I'm sometimes hanging out in different ones as well myself. I wouldn't say there is still one metaverse or something that we will see in the future. It's still starting. So coming back to this 90s, internet of 90s, I'm not scared. But of course, it depends, let's say, on which side of the force we will end up. Hopefully, we will not end up in the metaverse of rebranded Facebook and with CDVCs later. So this is my hope, and I'm really trying to observe it and be up to date to see what's happening there.
Hey, as we are talking about the future, how long will the bear market continue, and when we could observe Bitcoin for 100K bucks?
100K bucks Bitcoin. This is a standard question, right? I think, unfortunately, I don't want to be pessimistic, but and I will also not go too much into the geopolitics or politics and economics. But unfortunately, I don't think the bear market is going to leave us soon. Also, I don't think, like many people are just assuming that Bitcoin still might get 100K end of this year. It's not going to happen, in my opinion, of course. But I'm also not scared of that. I understand the values that Bitcoin is bringing, and I'm anyway, as an investor or having Bitcoin in my portfolio, I'm focused on the long term. I think this year and the first half of the next year will be pretty crucial to show us the direction and when and in which form the bull market is going to come. And then we will see if it's a matter of like one hit and then the Bitcoin jumps very, very high in the unreversible way almost, or we are still going to go low. And so I would say in the next couple of months, still end of this year and maybe half 6 months of the next year, we will see what's going to happen next.
Thanks, got it. One of the toughest guys from the Web3 space told me, listen man, crypto is no longer like the crypto space or the crypto market. It's a big economy market. It's an integrator, the full economy. As we could observe the markets of the sharing and stocks like falling down, okay, crypto will continue too. And we are faced with the several and different big problems right now. So the crypto market, like just flexible of reacting what happens in the whole world.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the same as with the traditional finance, the same in crypto, though it's new. There are connected mechanisms and many external factors that are having impact. That's why I said, yeah, macro, I don't want to talk about macroeconomy or geopolitics, but this is all impacting us, and consequently, as in laboratory, falling on other aspects, including crypto. And another point here is that, yeah, the space is not yet mature. We don't have a full adoption. We don't even have yet a technology that is connecting smaller items. That's why I'm so excited working with and for Ari10, you know, that they are empowering B2B sector. And at the end, it will end up or support the adoption and usage. And yeah, so a lot to happen. And I'm very curious actually how this year is going to end.
I'm very curious about our conversation, and I want to take it for ages, but I have the couple of the end questions for you. And the pre-end question is about, do you invest in any project? If so, which ones? And maybe do you enter as a private investor, or do you just buy from the market on the spot? Like, couple thoughts for everybody who want to understand where do you invest in and where they can get some profits on the investing side.
Yeah, okay. As we have a couple of questions, I will try to be short. So yeah, I am both private investor, but not only. So if it comes to most of my heart and portfolio, I'm 100% proof of work. That's why I'm a Bitcoin believer.
Yes.
And as I said, most of my portfolio and my heart is with Bitcoin.
Listen, what about proof of stake? That is the latest technology.
Yeah, but let me come to that point, right? I am working with 2 projects that are having their own tokens as well. So in this sense, yes, if I'm able to understand and become a part of the project and from inside, and the project is more about, I would even say, tokens than points, and build on with the prospects of the community and utility. Yes, there are a few of them. But it's very difficult to earn my trust. There are a few of them that I am definitely going in and then investing as well. But yeah, if we have still a couple of more questions, maybe I will just leave it here.
Okay, and the last question, what do you can recommend for our listeners, for our watchers, like who are the CNO, who are owners, founders of the crypto or Web3 in general projects, or who somebody who want to set up the company in the Web3, what do you want to actually deliver for them?
Well, I would say maybe simply listen to this conversation again and again and again until you really understand this difference, because that's the key between Web2 and Web3. If you understand it, and if you are able to build your own project, your own business plan, your own marketing strategy based on these differences, and then you will follow with a strong community around you as a part of your project, then you are successful. So yeah, listen to this conversation again and again. But and more seriously, or extra to that, yeah, learn. Don't stand still, and be up to date, and really focus on trust and engagement of the people around you. So those future customers. So don't forget the networking effect and the community.
But more likely for me is about repeat, eat, sleep, and repeat this podcast.
Yes, and learn meanwhile, I mean, that's why when you ask about how the good Web3 marketer should look like, I told you tired, but also being above and seeing the bigger picture of everything that's happening, being able to follow up, being also a consumer and inside this, but very important, not giving up and not being afraid of failures, because from that you can grow and learn. This whole space is still growing. It's still very, very early.
And we are trying,
though it's already advanced.
Yeah, and we are trying to be in the Cryptorsy like kind of educators for the audience, because there is a lack of useful content for everybody who are trying to figure out what's the next steps for them and what they should go and where they should go and something like that.
Yeah, definitely. And still, we are not even seeing, maybe just one thing to add, we are not yet facing how advanced scammers will be in the future. It's still to come. And it's just more dangerous that now, like what, you will just lose, you know, some data. Okay, data is precious, but you'll lose this with password and like emails leaking and so on. If we are talking about crypto and you will have everything connected as a one technology, it can be super dangerous. Already people are scammed and losing a lot of money. So yeah, education.
Keep that in the mind. And thanks for everybody who are watching this up to the very end. Subscribe the channel, put your likes, ring the bell, and you could share some insights from our speech, from our conversation. And the most powerful insight probably will get some gift. What do you can like prefer as a gift for our audience? It could be probably your consulting or the lunch with you during the Zoom meeting or something like that. What you can give our audience as a gift?
What I can give them as a gift. Maybe I will try to host you next time in one of my spaces. This might be a gift if they like this conversation and two of us talking. My personal, yes, feel free to find me online, not very difficult. I would recommend LinkedIn to start with. Yeah, and then if you have any questions, if you need any advice, yeah, reach out to me. I'm always happy to help.
So guys, as I mentioned, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, put your likes, and share the most powerful sites. I and Aleksandra will put out the most powerful one and trying to give you some really pleasure gift. So Aleksandra, thank you so much to be joined for our conversation. I really appreciate your thoughts, your insights, your ideas, because you are a still early builder of whole Web3 marketing system. And I really appreciate that you are sharing some insight with us. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, thank you for having me as well. So have a good rest of the day. Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.